My name is Optimus Prime. We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron.
Hey guys, Cybertron here. Hey, a couple of you sent me an email asking about more information about EVE Online. A couple of people said it was just a simple game. It's far more than that. So let's jump into it and I'll explain it. PC Magazine did an article on this game and said he didn't think that they could cram everything from EVE Online into a mobile device. And it's winning awards for its gameplay. This is the docking bay. I'm in station right now. This is my battle cruiser. It's the Can-U prototype. It's very detailed. Just like every other phone. Pinch in, pinch out. Finger moves the camera around. You can see the details in the station. Some stations you can actually see ships back here in the background, moving back and forth. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's look at some of the gameplay here. It's not just a simple game. I mean, there is you can rent an office for $3 million a week. ISK is like dollars or yen or whatever you use, whatever your country you're from. EVE is the money that runs the game. You can rent an office for your corporation. You can start a corporation. You can join a corporation. I mean, there's the corporation tab. I'm currently in Tax Evasion Corp. We currently pay no taxes, but right now we've got taxed set to 2% because it's $218 million a month to keep a station for our corporation. And so we're just taking care of bounty rewards, and then the tax goes to the corporation to help pay off it was at 218, now we're at 132. I've been running some missions to take care of some stuff. And then, you know, people have been donating. I donated 40 million, then 10 million, and then another 10 million earlier. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. When you're in the corporation, you have shows your members. There's 4 people online right now. You can fit your ship out however you want. You've got rigs that run your ship that help your ship play. Currently I have a core defense capacitor. This helps my capacitor. This is a drone range extender. Lets my drones go farther. And it's a repair augmenter. I don't know why I put that on there. This is a shield. Anyway, it's the only one I had at the time when they first gave this to me. But I'm currently running 4 medium returned decompressors. Decompressors are pretty cool item. Let's go into inventory and read up on it here once my inventory loads. A decompressor is a product of the Yang Jun's force field technology. Blasts xenon atoms with electrons moving at a high speed, generating an unstable intermediate state force field, which is eventually guided toward the target, dealing impressive kinetic and explosive damage. Now, Each ship you fly has different attributes. This one gives me a plus 50% for medium decompressor damage, decompressor optimal range, plus 15 on my shield, plus 1 on my warp stability. They can disrupt your warp here if somebody has a warp disruptor and you're in low security. But each ship deals different. You've got kinetic, thermal, or you got EMP, thermal, kinetic, and explosive damage. And this is what my ship defends against naturally. So you can add other defenses like shield hardening. This is a shield hardener. Pause the adaptive shield hardener. This hardens my shield and adds more defenses against all 4 of the damages. So when they hit me, I take way less damage. And then this is a shield repper. This repairs my shields. This is a warp core stabilizer. In case I try to disrupt my warp, I can hit that and can still warp off. This is a scout medium micro warp drive. Without it, I'd only do about 179 kilometers per second. I hit this baby, I'm doing 880. So for a big ship, I'm moving pretty fast. Here's my little drone. Just a medium MK5 Valkyrie. Let's see if I move it here. Whether it'll let me bring up a picture of it. No. Let's see, move it there. Anyway, put it back in its slot. Also has a drone bay. I can hold a lot of drones up here, so if somebody does target my drone and shoots it down, I can spit out another one and automatically jump into the slot. You've got all kinds of items that you pick up, you can buy to add to the ship. So many ships. I mean, if you look at the ship tree here, where's it at? Ship tree. There it is. This is the Kaldari State. There's Kaldari State, Amar, Minmatar. There's 4 different factions. When you come in, you get to choose what faction you are and what your bloodline is. So I'm Minmatar Kaldari, or I think I'm Kaldari. No, Minmatar Kaldari. So I specialize in certain ships. And, you know, like the Minmatar is supposed to be someone that, I think the Kaldari or Galente is supposed to be like the military. And anyway, but you've got different ship trees here. You can zoom out and show you currently what they have. You start off in a frigate. It's tech level 0. You don't need to have any tech level. Flying one of those. Move up your frigates to a Condor, a Merlin, Heron, Kestrel. I mean, there's so many different. Then you get into your destroyers. I like the Cormorant. The Cormorant 3 or 2 is really cool. Where's the Cormorant 2 at? There's the Cormorant Guardian. Cormorant Navy issue is really good. You get 4 upper slots, 3 middle slots, and 3 bottom slots, and then there's 4 rigs, 4 combat, 4 electronic rigs, or 2 electronic rigs. Then you start getting into Korax Sniper, Korax Assault. Then you get into your cruisers. A lot of people fly cruisers, you know, a couple days into the game, and they stay in a cruiser for a little bit until they get their skills up. And currently it shows my level of tech that I can't fly anything above in the black, and I'm still training up. But then you get over into your battle cruisers. This is the Ferox. Battle cruisers are slightly bigger than your cruisers, and they're designed for more battle. Then you get into stuff like your battleships, Scorpion. These are pretty big ships. Raven. I like the Raven. Raven Striker. So that's Kaldari State. You got different factions: Amar Empire, Mimitar Republic, Galente Federation, Kaldari State, and then you have like the Yang Young. I'm flying the Yang Young prototype battlecruiser, and there's so many: Sancha Nation, Garistas Pirates, Serpentis Corporation, Angel Cartel, Sancha, Garistas, Serpentis. Those are going to be a lot of the rats that you're going to be seeing in the belts. Rats are non-player AI. They're just NPCs. Run by the server. There's different levels that you'll be fighting. You fight a level too big, you get your ass handed to you. You're getting dropped back down to your pod. Now, when you're flying the ship, you're actually a human linked up kind of like they are in the Matrix with those hoses attached to you inside a pod, and the pod is inside the ship. So if you get your ship exploded, you're back in your pod. Now, unlike EVE Online, which is where this game is based off of, which is the PC version of the highest rated, most played, massively multiplayer online space game out there, they managed to crunch all that stuff into this little phone package, which is really cool. So let's see if I go, okay, let's go to Amar Empire. Check out some of their ships. Some of their battleships. Let's see, there's a good battleship. You got the Apocalypse battleship. The Abaddon. See, some people are going to like certain types of ships, like Mimitar. Go over here to Mimitar, go over to battleships. Oh, that's a battle cruiser. You've got the Typhoon. You know, some people like missiles, some people like railguns. Some people like, I'll give you an example of, right now on my skills, I'm currently training Advanced Battlecruiser Level 3, Engineering Level 3. And what this is going to give me is, it's going to increase my capacitor a little bit. And what your capacitor is, on your ship, damn it, click. I don't want to let me click, there we go. This is your capacitor right here. This tells you how much power you have in order to turn these modules on. Now, the more power you have, the more powerful modules you can have to do stuff like defend. Like this ship, I'm currently running 271.51 DPS. That's damage per second. I'm getting 25.03 from my drone, my single drone, and it can attack at 28 kilometers out. My optimal range on my medium guns are 23 kilometers out. So before I'm even within optimal range of my weapons, my compressors, I can shoot my drone out there, and my drone goes over and just starts knocking down a shield. Now your frigates and your destroyers, my drone's going to have it almost killed before I get my guns on it. I've had it happen all the time. Little frigates coming at me, shooting at me, right? And it does damage. You know, when you got 8 ships shooting at you at once, you're taking a lot of damage. So your little drone is out there, and you can tell it where to go, and the drones fly really, really, really fast. Here, I'll show you. I'm not going to take the Yang Young out. I'm going to jump into my ship hangar, show you some of the ships. Excuse me. I got the Slasher, the Thrasher. This is a destroyer. This is a Tally War trainer. This was given to me by the game because I have an Omega clone. This is a Zion Ewer, I don't even know how to pronounce that, prototype. This is a prototype destroyer. Very powerful ship. Plus 75% on small decompressor damage. So it's running the small version. You got small, medium, and large and everything in this game. Just running the small decompressors with a plus 75. It's like you've got mediums on here. This little destroyer can pack a wallop. And then currently have the ship that I fly. Well, let's get down here. Like this Imicus, high mobility. This is a frigate or industrial ship. This is the hauling ship, because on a lot of ships their cargo hold is only like 100 M3, 300 M3, so you can only hold a little bit. But this ship is 8,500 M3, so it's a tiny little ship, but the entire ship is all for hauling stuff. So I can haul more stuff than I can in, say, a Vexor. A Vexor is a cruiser, but its cargo hold is only 960. So this one's 8,500. Anyway, I am currently flying. The game gave me the Navy issue trainer, the Vexor trainer. The game gave me this because I have a clone. Every day they give you a gift because you have an Omega clone. And this is the Navy issue Vexor, the one I'm currently flying. I get plus 12 drone DPS. And then this one is a shield repper, or armor repper. And you can tell that because you look at here and it says armor resistance. So this is a resistance armor thing. So we're going to set active. And now my ship's going to change. And I pop out of my Vexor. Navy issue, obviously with the camouflage. My kid's like making a joke. Dad, I don't see it. Dad, I don't see it. Yeah. Neither do I, son. It's camouflaged. Talk about clones real quick. I'll just go into my character profile real quick. When you play this game, you can play for free on just a basic clone. Don't have to pay for anything. But your skills are going to train slower. I currently have 59 days left on my Omega clone. On my standard Omega clone. There are 29 days left on the basic, which is just a basic clone. So you can either use a basic clone, no clone, or an Omega clone, where your skills train a lot faster. And that is done here in the store. Now, you can build up ISK, which is the money in the game, just by playing the game, and you can buy Plex at the store with your ISK that you make in game. So you can get an Omega clone just by using the money you make in game. Or you can buy an Omega clone, a standard clone, standard Omega, or a basic 1 month, or a 1 month dual bundle. That's where they give you extra stuff for $14.99 a month. And some people are like, yeah, I don't want to play that, but I mean, if you really like the game, here I got this new application I gotta accept, approve. Somebody just joined the corp. The CEO made us all like admins, so we can all set. Anyway, I'm sidetracking. But let's say I really wanted to spend some money on here and I wanted to get myself a lot of ISK and just buy the best shit to kick ass. Because you can either do PvE or PvP. And PvP is simply going into areas where there is no security. Let me finish with the money. You can buy these items right here. I'll let you look at the prices. $99, $25, right? But let's say I'm just going to spend $9.99, right? One tap buy, scan your fingerprint. Okay, I just spent $9.99 and bought 265 of those things, right? Well, I click on this bad boy right here and I redeem $265. Now I have 265 Plex. I can take those Plex, and if I have 530 of those Plex, I can get myself an Omega clone for the month. Or, to get ISK, I can trade, sell Plex in exchange for ISK. I take that 265 and I turn it into $56 million. Sell it. It tells me, See my bank account go up? Now I'm at 72 million. Now, if you want to do PvP, I'm currently doing PvE in New Eden, in Hematar, and Zavipar, and my station, or my system is Emo Grandland. And you can zoom in and see every one of these stops right here is a system that you have to go through a jump gate. And to give you an idea of how big this place is, I started the game and went all the way out to the farthest region I could. And I think it was, God, it was an insane amount of jumps. It took me hours, literally hours of in-game flying. And I never made it all the way. I was in a small shuttle, and I got my ass handed to me when I popped into a null sec. Because you have low sec, high sec, meaning security, and null sec, which is no security. Like right here, this is a .02. If you're near a station or a gate, there are sentry guns, and if somebody fires on you, the guns will fire on them. But if you're anywhere away from a Stargate or a base, like out in the bratting belt, the mining belt, you're out by a planet, you're going to get your ass handed to you if somebody finds you out there, because they can warp out there to you. So this currently shows my current system. And if I actually want to see the whole system, I look at the star chart. This is amazing how they've done this. I'm going to zoom in to a certain area, and you're going to see how big this world, this universe is. I am just right here in Hematar. And just to give you an idea, if I wanted to go to the edge of the map on the right, and set destination, it can't even tell me how many jumps that is, because it's ludicrous of how far I'm actually going. Probably over 100 jumps. Let's see if it can tell me here. Nope, let's try here. It's still like, I don't know, man. You're asking to go far away. Now that's just this region. Let me get out of here. And oop. Back to star chart. Okay, so anywhere that's red, your red is your no sec and null sec, your low security. Now what you're going to get is, you're going to get right off the bat, let's say, okay, I'm in Tash Murkon. Let's go to Tash Murkon region map. Okay, so this is going to be low sec, right, at .03. And then region map, let's go to here. Now we're going into the red regional map. Okay, like this system here, everywhere in here there is no security. 0, 0, 0, 0. And then you got 0 minus 0.6, so this is the negative right there. You got to be badass to be in here. So a lot of these people, they'll own this whole corridor. They'll monitor these two gates that come in here, and like a lot of these places, there's only two ways to get in. Right here, 1, 2, and this is the way down the pipe. Like their base will be here. So when you're going to come in to attack this area to take it over, you got to fight through all these gates, and they're going to have it shield or warp disrupted, stasis web of fires. They're going to lock you up. There's going to be people who play all the time. There's always going to be somebody at the gate watching. So if you want to play PvP, but let's undock and show you how the gameplay works. So now I'm in my ship. I'm leaving the station. As you can see, it is very detailed. Just gorgeous. So right now I'm traveling at 300 and some odd meters per second. Let's kick my micro warp drive on. And as you can see, I'm speeding up. I'll be doing about 1600 meters per second. So I'm hauling ass. And there's lots of stuff you can do here. It shows you everything around you. Sentry guns and how far away they are. There's everything in the system, pretty much. Except for you got your ships. There's no ships in the area. Here's all the stations. I'm currently in Quaff. There's your stargates. There's 2 in this system. One goes to higher up security, because right now I'm in a 0.5. So I'm right on the border. And then I can go to Eifer, which is a 0.04. This is the stuff down here. It shows you what I have. I got two cannons, 5 drones. This is an armor plate. My armor repper. I threw a shield on here because my capacitor is high enough to where a lot of my damage will be repaired by the shield. If they can't get through the shield, they don't have to worry about it. What you basically have is right here, I don't know if you can see on the screen with my stylus. You have your shield, armor, and hull. Your shield will drop, your armor will drop, and then you're into your hull. Now, a buddy of mine in the game says real men hull tank, which means there are people on EVE Online, I don't know if you can do it on this version yet, but you can repair your hull. So you have no shields, no armor, and you're on the brink of getting exploded. But the hull repairers repair really quick to repair the hull. So let's go to an area and see what kind of gameplay we can get. So you go to a cosmic anomaly. Now, in a high security area, anyone that's going to be here is going to be AI, even in low security. The difference between the security is if another player comes out to this while I'm at it, let's go ahead and warp to it.
Warp drive active.
If any other player comes out while I'm out here, I don't have to worry about him shooting me down, because the second he fires on me, woo, the police are there and they fucking pop him. We're gonna switch over to drop that, and you can drop that window out of the way so there's more room to see. Okay, there's somebody out here. That's the guy in a Caracol trainer. He's repairing his shield, so he just got over. He got done with the fight. He cleared the area out. Now it shows me. I guess I'm that X right now. I am. That am I? 3 kilometers away. Couldn't find myself. Where is he? Oh, there he is. He's right there. So I don't know if you can see that, but he's just sitting right there chilling. And here's the anomaly. So let's go find another anomaly.
Warp drive active.
Now, if you notice, when I stop, my ship will open up and my weapons will deploy. Each ship has its own little animation thing. So my drones deploy. I've got my drone set to deploy automatically. And my weapon to fire. So there go my drones around this guy, fighting him. And you can see that's the one I'm currently locked onto. Now my drones are dormant until I get a lock on. Focus fire, drones go into action. Show you what a drone looks like. There's my drones flying around the enemy, shooting them. And they move very quickly. Here's some bounty I got. Bounties are paid every 20 minutes, but you can see the money I'm ranking up just by shooting things. The higher the mission, the more money you make. Now here's my capacitor. If I get low, I can switch by doing this. Well, let me turn my shield repper on. So now I'm repairing my shield. Now my shields are repaired. I turn it off. I don't need to constantly run it. I want to save my capacitor. Let's say... Why am I going away from this guy? Oh, my gun stopped firing. Get back in the fight. Turn around. Stupid shit. Okay, now my ship's going to turn around. Now I can also let it do its thing automatically or tell it, I want you to go that way. Now the ship's going to go that way. So I can tell it which way to go. If I want it to go that way, I tap that way. Hey, go that way. Now my ship's going that way. Or I can tell it to approach at a certain distance. Stay within 26 kilometers of that ship. My ship will stay within 26 kilometers of that ship. The drones need to get in there and fight. I don't know why they're not fighting. Sometimes you got to tell them what to do. Sometimes it's not automatic. Depends on your skills. Apparently there's a few navigation skills I need to train up on. Now that the mission's done, I don't know if you can see here on my ship, but I've got 2 drone bays. There's a drone bay here where my drones pop into, and there's a little drone bay there they fly back into. Zoom out and I'll show you what happens when you bring them back in. Drones, come home. They all go back in. I can also run these. These are Nosferatus. They suck energy from a ship. The only problem is you got to get close to the ship. If you get close to the ship, you need to have a good tank. And I've got an armor rep. I've got a shield rep, an armor repairer, and what this does is if my armor drops down to half, I hit this armor plate, and it's an 800 millimeter armor plate, and my armor will jump up to like 132%, and it lasts for 60 seconds, and then there's a 60-second cooldown. Well, I think it lasts for 30 seconds, and then there's a 60-second cooldown. But so you can run these ratting missions, and these missions will come and go as they're used, as they get used up. Once a player goes in there and kills them all, it'll shut down for like 10 minutes and then it'll pop back up. So these fluctuate all the time, and they change per your security level. Now you can also go into what's called encounters. Hang on, I got an email. Oh, it said I sold my Plex. Yeah, I know that. Sold my Plex. You can go into encounters under news. I'm currently doing advanced missions, which are T5 and T7 tech level. But, ooh, there's a nice one for 650. But here's one for 20,000 ISK. Basically, this is a delivery. I pick up 80 units of refugees and I deliver them 2 jumps away to another station. Quick way to make 20,000 ISK. Or I can do this mission for 650,000 ISK. Go to this area 2 jumps away and annihilate all the enemies in the mission. Now I'm getting no warning here that my ship can be destroyed. All ships can be destroyed if you just walk away and not pay attention. But certain missions are going to pop up here and they're going to be in red where it says danger. We'll give you $5 million if you could do this mission. But they recommend a T7 ship and I'm in a T6. I'm in a cruiser. So if I was in a Tech 7 cruiser, I can do it. Now I could probably do this mission, but I'm going to have to warp off to a station and repair my ship 5 or 6 times. So you can make 5 million at this current level, but if you wait a little bit to a little bit higher, you can start popping in 5 mil a run with no problem. So that you can do that. Let me give you an idea of just how beautifully they built this game. Let's go take a look at the sun, shall we? So there's planets, stars.
Warp drive active.
You can mine the planets for resources. You can mine the belts, the asteroid belts. Okay, if you look in your local chat, it says we got a gate camper in Eifer. And there's the sun. Now, if you look closely, you'll see it's moving. It's very detailed. You can see the magnetic lines over here in the corona. You can see the surface of the sun. Now, each sun's going to be different design, but it's all going to be very, very elaborate. Let's check out the planet. You can also either approach a planet. Say I want to approach that planet. I can line up to it. I know an enemy's coming after me, and I'm in low security. I line up to a planet, right? So I'm aimed at it, and then if I decide I want to warp to it, it's almost instantaneous. I just take
Warp
off.
drive active.
And you can watch it however angle you want. Here we are coming up on the planet. This looks like a gas giant. Now there's all kinds of ways to make money. Anyway, let's talk about the gate camper real quick. So we got apparently the Chinese are really vicious in this game. The Chinese are really good about ganging up on you and hitting you. That's the whole idea of the game, to challenge you. Now, if you don't want to get popped in low security, don't go there. There's a safe way around. It's going to take you a few more jumps. When you're literally going to have to jump all the way through here to get up to over this side. It's quicker to go this way. It's only 4 jumps. Or 9 or 10 going the other way. But it's up to you. Do you want to play it safe, or do you want to take your chances? Now, what a gate camper does is they sit at the gate, and when you go to warp off, they warn somebody at the other gate. And the other gate, they'll throw up a bubble at a safe distance away from those safety guns, those sentry guns. And they'll catch you. You'll fly into that warp bubble, and it'll disrupt your warp, and then they stasis webify you, which basically means they use electricity to swoop you up like Spider-Man and stop you from moving at a fast rate of speed. So you slows your ship down, and they just wail on you. And you can't get away from them because you have to wait to get out of the bubble, and the bubble's pretty big. So they all gang up on you. There'll be like 13, 14 ships. They'll pop you, steal your whatever your ship doesn't explode in your ship, and they'll go sell it. They'll make money off it, or they'll reprocess it. So like reprocessing, that's in your industry. I can manufacture a drone. I can reverse engineer an item. Let's say I want to make a drone. What I would do is, if I was in station, but I'm not in station, so let's go to my inventory at my station and go grab a drone blueprint. I got 20 drone blueprints. Let's make one of them. Use blueprint. I don't have enough planetary materials. So normally I'd go out there and I'd mine it. I'd use my little miner and I'd find the right materials that I need. Tells you what you need, all the materials. Says I have all the minerals. I just need the planetary compounds, planetary materials. And I would go out there and I could either purchase them go from Pator. And apparently it would cost me $4 million to purchase all the materials I need to make that drone, to make those drones. I think it makes 10 of them. It's not a valuable way to make money. So I would want to go mine those items so I can sell it in the market. Also, you can make a living just mining stuff. Let me head back to base. Now,
warp drive active.
You've got that gate camper there. You'll also, when this is it's early in the morning, so there's not a lot of players on. There's probably only like between 10 and 20,000 people playing right now. When the server gets fully active, you're more around 75,000 players online. Now that's everybody on one giant server. It's not spread out over servers. Now apparently the Japanese are getting their own server. They're really happy about that. It's pretty cool they get their own server, but right now everybody else in the world, we all play on one server. Well, one rack of servers, I guess. Because your phone or your tablet renders the image, all that you get between us and CCP, the company that made the game where the servers are at in Hong Kong, is just what your ship is doing, and so it's just basically data transfer back and forth on what ship's doing where. Your device renders the graphics. They don't render the graphics on their end. So you really don't need that strong of an internet connection. Right now I'm in a truck stop in Colby, Kansas, and I only have like 15 kilobytes per second of data connection, but I'm still playing the game. So there's so much stuff you can do here. You can do industry, you can do deliveries. You could just get a giant cargo ship, and they make some big cargo ships, and you can request a shipping container, and you get badass enough, you can go into null sec and low sec and not worry about getting popped because your ship has defenses and your drones can just jump out there and annihilate the enemy while they try to attack you and get your goods. But a lot of people start off with PvE. There are people that start off PvP right off the bat. Like the other day, I jumped into a belt, and I'll go into my combat log. I jumped into a belt and I popped a couple ventures in their capsules. They weren't there, they were AFK. So I just basically I also lost a Vexter, but I popped them in their ship, and one of the guys that got popped decided to come back out in his little destroyer, his little Cormorant. I like the Cormorant 2 destroyer, but I'm in a cruiser, a Navy issue cruiser. And my skills are trained up to where I can fly a battle cruiser, but I'm still in the cruiser because I've got my cruiser skills maxed out. He starts firing on me, and I pop my drones and just start nailing him, and then he warped off. He didn't want to have any. He didn't want to play. So he bought a knife to a gunfight. There are also times where I got popped. I was like, yeah, I'll come out, I'll shoot with you, and he had his missile skills higher than I had my railgun skills, and he was out of my range. I couldn't hit him, but his missiles could reach me, and he nailed me. I couldn't get out of there in time. So it's a very elaborate game. For those of you who sent me that email saying it's simple. No, it's not. You can join a fleet and do fleet movements where you're all linked together, and it's crazy. You got each ship repairing the other ship. So if one person takes the damage, you've got fleet modules on your ship. They're not that expensive, but it'll spread the damage out over all the ships. So if you take a hit and you're the lead guy, you've got a fleet module in there, and there's 30 guys behind you, it's going to spread your damage out over all those 30 people, and they're going to be repairing their ship. So they're tanking your damage. So the whole fleet could be out there, and you could just be knocking people off, sniping them. Or you do planetary production. Like currently I am mining this planet 24 hours. It's mining reactive metals. And when it fills up, I go out to this planet, it'll eject a canister. The mining rig on the planet will eject one of these old canisters, and I'll pick it up, take it back to base, reprocess it, sell it, make money. It is a very elaborate game. The fighting in here is intense. The missions are intense. And I highly recommend playing it. So that's that. I apologize if this was very long, but I just wanted to explain just a few aspects of it. I mean, there's so much stuff. The market, oh my God, it's a player-driven market. Okay, using a fake amount of money, but let me put it this way. On EVE Online, one of the biggest battles to ever occur took days. I believe it took a couple days. It was days of fighting. At least 2, or was it multiple hours? But in real world money loss, it was a $300,000. This alliance lost $300,000 in real world money, because you got to understand people's time, the money they put into the game. Basically, what happened was one of the CEOs of the alliance didn't pay the mortgage to rent the station. So he lost sovereignty over his area of the map, and that was an area that was pretty freaking big. We're talking like an eighth of the map. They owned it, and then another eighth of the map was on their border, and realize this. And if you can get to their station and dock and then pay that money, that area becomes yours. So nobody had the money, because the CEO, he left. He quit. He rage quit. And he was the only one that could access it. And nobody had that kind of money, because apparently it was a very large bill. So they went to war, and there were Titans. If you just Google EVE Online battles, they had Titan. The biggest ship in the game is called a Titan. It has a Doomsday where it just kills everything in the system. And the battles were just so immense. Just, I think they lost like 75,000 battleships, 56,000 cruisers. I mean, the loss was just so big. And they eventually won and took over the system, I believe. I forgot. It's been a long time since I've seen the video, but anyway, like I said, you've got your market here. You've got your pilot services, which is basically, oh, I bought these too, the skill chips. These increase your skill learning, but that's only if you want to, I want my skills to go faster, so yeah, I paid for them. Anyway, back to the market. See, it's got slow internet. Come on, baby. You can do it. Or not. Let me refresh it. Come on, market. Give me the market. Anyway, you'll have to take a look at the market if you get the game. All the stuff you want to buy is in the market. It tells you where you can get it. There's 3 main hubs. Well, there's 1 main hub and 2 secondary. There's always 1,000 people in the JITA system. J-I-T-A. JITA. 1,000 people. They're just, you jump into the gate and you're literally bumping into ships as you warp into the gate. Here we go. You know, I can check out ships, frigates, destroyers, cruisers, battle cruisers, battleships. These are battleships for sale, and they're not cheap. A Minmatar Typhoon, currently going for what, $747 million? And a lot of these aren't even available. Nobody's made them yet. It's just, Eve has just introduced the battleship because somebody's skill levels have gotten to the height where they can run these. I like the Macarial. Oh my God, it's such a sexy. It's a sexy ship. Plus 50% warp speed. Oh. Large cannon. Anyway, you got battle cruisers. Apparently there's only that many these are the only ones that people have made. You got a Herc, haven't even made that yet. Okay, here we go. Just a Cyclone cruiser they want $298 million for. And that's at JITA Moon 4. JITA 4. $299,888 at Tash Mercon Prime. So it takes money to get some of the stuff here. After battleships, I think you have dreadnoughts, and then you have motherships, and then other ships, and then you're into the Titan. Titan's going to take a couple years to get into, but anyway, if you guys want more videos on anything, just ask me and I'll post it.